All right, the Mark Martin installment of Welcome to Flatch is finally in the books for us. And I actually thought, looking at the episode sneak peeks all around social media, preferably Twitter and Instagram, I thought somebody actually died. Like no, most other shows we love, past, present, old, new. But this time it was all for shits and giggles, where it was a real funeral for what was to believe to be a fake person. But I knew the person was real. I knew eventually we were going to see the character, actual person that they were telling the story about all episode long, and I knew we were going to see it, and we got to see the real Cynthia at the end. And she was running away from Cheryl. Cheryl tried to tell her she meant good because there was a guy out there, Len, who really loved her. And I love how Len has come a long way since just almost halfway through the season already. And it's going to go into it's going to have all the episodes are going to be in the month of May. And since we're all going to actually finish the 2021-2022 television season properly, unlike last year, we actually get to not only finish it with Goldbergs and million little things and possibly, Danger Force and Side Hustle, but we're also going to finish it with Welcome to Flatch. So on days we don't go outside, and then for, the end of spring is in the air, we're going to do that. And then the days, we don't go outside for fun in the sun, it's going to be Bunk Season 6, as well as Meet the World premieres, the first inaugural seasons of Meet the Mayhems and Ultraviolet and Black Scorpion. And I was going to say, I love how Len has come a long way from being the grumpy old man who was an asshole to people and didn't want to do anything fun with anybody, to this outgoing, social butterfly older man. It's like he's something lit a fire underneath him, and he's changed a lot. William Tokarski plays one hell of a guy. He is a hell of a guy in real life, so I applaud him. And it was nice to see my girl Nadine tonight, one of my ultimate favorite actresses. Me encanta Taylor Ortega. So I love Taylor Ortega. It's one of my TV Taylors, and they're all the other TV Taylors are going to be tagged this. So y'all know who you are with behind my OG since 2019 Taylor Ortega. You got that Taylor who played who was in the I think it was the Bobby Labonte or Jeremy Mayfield installment of the Goldbergs, Taylor Jurier or something like that. You got Taylor McCall Moore and Taylor Grace Boughton. So all my favorite TV Taylors have shown a lot of flashes of brilliance in tearing that shit up like Terry Labonte. But the one who's been there for me the longest since the Kim Possible movie in 2019, Taylor Ortega. To all my TV Taylors, this is for you. So anyway, what I was going to say before I give a shout out to my TV Taylors, Cheryl, speaking of Cheryl, I love how, Mandy was trying to help her fight her her haters, like they were in case one of them were killers, and the fact that they were throwing water balloons at her bedroom and her office, and she did try to fight back by, throwing something back at the person. It probably most likely missed, and whether it missed him or not, he broke the fucking window. And so I love how Mandy tried to get her to hit her and hurt her, for shits and giggles, for a tester in case it happened for real. But it was nice. Cheryl was being very generous, saying she didn't want to hurt Mandy, and I can understand that. But I was over here in the chair, screaming at the TV for Cheryl to give Mandy some booty barker action on The Price is Right, meaning clack her like Bob Barker, like in Happy Gilmore. The Price is Wrong, bitch. That's how I got the tagline, clock 'em like Bob Barker. And how I got how I got the catchphrase "Booty Barker action" from The Price is Right, because Bob Barker was doing beating the shit out of Adam Sandler and Happy Gilmore. The Price is Wrong, bitch. Imagine if, they had Alex Trebek do it, or Pat Sajak on Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune instead of Booty Barker from The Price is Right. I know it's Bob Barker, but that NASCAR crew chief who's, Ty Dillon's crew chief when he was a rookie, Dave Blaney's crew chief when I was a kid, now Bubba Wallace's crew chief now as an adult. Something that I first heard of, I knew of. Well, I didn't even know The Price is Right till the 2003-2004 season. So in 2002, 2003, some guy, I went to school with at the time when I was 8 going on 9, was talking about a guy named Bob Barker. At the time, of course, I didn't know, since I never heard The Price is Right at the time. I had no clue who he was talking about, since I didn't know what The Price is Right was till the following school year. And so I just started thinking about what was at the time Dave Blaney's crew chief and the number 77 Jasper engines and transmission for Taurus. for Jasper Motorsports. I just thought of Booty Barker, the NASCAR crew chief in the wheelchair. So that's how I came up with Booty Barker for Bob Barker, because it's just me being silly. But I mean, when Cynthia came in to have Cheryl on the back after, she won the contest and for the slogan, she was doing what Mandy taught her, but it backfired because she used it on the wrong fucking person. It scared poor Cynthia away. So I feel bad for Cynthia. Even though she was turned out to be real, she deserves better regardless, whether she was alive or quote unquote dead or not. But wow. And the fact that Kelly wanted to play games in the computer lab where we're supposed to be training with, where Shrub was training with elders, June and Len were trying to dig the class. And Father Joe, as generous as he is, nicely said, "I'm sorry, Kelly, you cannot play games here." And then she tried to get him to change his mind, saying it's not a game, it's a lifestyle. And the answer was the same. Well, no matter what it is, it was still an N-O. No, but Father Joe seems like a generous kind of guy. Kind of like how Sean William Scott is a generous guy in real life. And, that sounds like the rules I had in that toxic school environment in Berger many years ago. Well, Berger, we were allowed to play games, but that school was nothing but fucking toxicity. But Berea, we were on computer class, we were not allowed to play games. I mean, Berea, was not a toxic environment, but they had a lot of... Berger was way too firm and, had the rules on the dumbest things that, shouldn't have been rules, which is why, the good students got in trouble for the dumbest reasons. But then you have punishment-worthy students that should be the guys in trouble, got little to nothing, were allowed to get away with doing worse stuff than what us good students like me did. But with, Berea, and maybe a little bit of Polaris, but mostly Berea. Berea had firm rules, but at the same time, they were fair. But it's like at Berger, they waited till I left, with the rest of my generation that grew up in that toxic school environment to not only improve the toxicity and either eliminate it altogether or reduce it or loosen up on the rules. Because when I was there, we were not allowed to wear fucking hats. But then as soon as I leave, the first year full year I wasn't there, all of a sudden they decided to let the kids wear hats. Where the fuck was that when I was there? It's just like Berea, but, not as, BS, Berea's case was, waiting till my generation left and moved on to other parts of Ohio, I did, moved on to other states, or, some of them ended up passing away and going to take a trip to see the Lord, As soon as my generation got older and left and moved on, started a new future, it's like they decided to not only make my old Sandhurst neighborhood look nice on the pavement, they made the bumpy-ass street look smooth, because I saw one of my old neighbors that are still there, that I would play with every now and then, taking pictures to go to a concert, and guess what they did? They saw the street look smooth. It was no paved. Where the fuck was that shit when I was there? Well, I could care less if that road wasn't paved when my grandparents lived in that house, when I still lived in Michigan in the Lenore house. I can understand that because it was many years ago. But 2010 to 2014 wasn't all too old of an era, even during when it was happening live. It was kind of new, so why didn't you make the roads nice? And not only that, they waited till my generation left. Of course, what I was going to say before I mentioned my old neighborhood, before this one, in between this one and Lenore, but they waited until my generation of Berea City School District, my generation of, what am I saying? They waited till my generation of the students from the Berea City School District ended up leaving to actually make the schools look nice. They made Ford look nice. Since I drove past, me and my dad invaded Brook Park to have a random ass lunch in the park, which is down the street from Sandhurst. In the middle of Kennedy Park. I mean, I saw they made Ford look nice. I mean, they got Berea a new building. The one I was in, got torn down in favor of a better looking building. And when I dream about Berea and Berger, I dream about the West building more than the East, because I had more time in West and I don't think about East much. And I don't dream about Polaris that much because I don't really think about it much because I wasn't there for that long. But, I dream about Berger West all the time because not only I had more time there, it's the building I'm used to because I wasn't all that used to the East. And of course, I'm not going to know what the current Berger building looks like. But I dream about Berea all the time. If it's not about my childhood neighborhoods, Lenore and Sandhurst, it's about Berea. It's about Berea, not the building they're in now, but the one I was in because that's the one I'm used to. And I see the pictures of the new one, but it's like I've never been in that building ever, not even once. So of course, I'm not going to dream about it. But they wait till my generation for Berea City School District 2010, 11 to 2012, 13, 14 all goes away to make Berea have a better looking building outside and inside. They made Ford look nice inside and out. Not only that, besides the Berea schools getting a whole ass makeover, I'm pretty sure Berea Middleburg Heights Junior High, the old Mid-Park High School building, probably looks nice too. I mean, even though I've never seen what it looked like inside, after a post Braves Meteors era, but they also made the inside of Polaris look nice. Like, why couldn't you do these nice makeovers of making the buildings look nicer inside and outside while I was fucking there with my generation? And this little reaction video, I'm also gonna say the same thing shit happened with Lenore when I lived in Michigan over there. Because when I lived over there, I'm not sure about this part of the street I was on, but the first part of Lenore, because whenever we came home from a destination, we'd never stay on Schoolcraft, turn on Lenore, go all the way through. We'd actually shortcut Woodbine and turn right, and then wait till we got to the half of the Lenore, between the little part, and then our main part where we lived. Well, that little part was a fucking dirt ass road, and even the times we rarely drove on the Lenore version of that, it was always so bumpy. But it's like they wait till I left and moved away, start my Sandhurst phase from the prime of my teenage years to make that dirt road look actually nice and smooth. It's like, again, just like with the whole making Sandhurst look nice on the pavement and making the schools I went to look nice after I left. Why did you wait why couldn't you make the dirt road on Lenore, the first little part of the street, not smooth like that while I was there? But that's usually how it goes, unfortunately. So, therefore, this television season's almost done. So, I don't know when the next general video is. It's not going to be a reaction video to any of the shows, but I will check and see. But there'll be lots of Garra Acción y Sudor throughout the whole summer. And possibly the Tim Duncan Can I Recreate will be coming this summer. And before you know it, there will be real life NBA Jam debuting this summer, as well as real life Need for Speed on the bikes in the form of Hot Pursuits and Lap Knockouts. I'm not sure about, circuits and circuits and point to point, sprinters. And so, it's called Sprint and Most Wanted, but point to point it's called Hot Pursuit too. I'm not sure I've been thinking about Drag Race, so that might be a bigger consideration than the sprint and circuits, but I'll think about it. So that's going to come this summer too. Tomorrow I will be going over the Ryan Newman installment of Side Hustle, which is the quintuple crossover between the 5 biggest Nickelodeon shows. That Young, Warped, Danger, Hustle. So have a good night tonight and a better day tomorrow. Life will give you a lot of lows, but when you hit a high, enjoy it. It ain't for the weak. Goddamn, be you. You have to try harder to do less. You can't deport a dream. So take care, everyone. Good night, and tomorrow, I will see you all for that video when we go over the quintuple Nickelodeon crossover When Worlds Collide, which counts as an episode of Side Hustle. And even though this little fucker sucks ass now, it's gone haywire, we're going to use it to watch it on the Nickelodeon website. And then I'll give you the reaction video for That Young, Warped, Danger, Hustle. So, see you later, everyone.